I think you're talking about sort of like faith and science, belief and reason, doubt, questions, all sitting and living together, right? So I think one of the there are several points of commonality between like science and religion writ large. One of them is a sense of awe, which we're kind of talking about, like
Mhm.
the chemical that's in our atmosphere that comes from marine life, that almost certainly only comes from marine life. And when we can see that chemical in some other planet's atmosphere, we're like, okay, that's 78 light years away,
Yeah.
but there might be a planet out there with something swimming around the oceans. Like that is so cool to me. That's
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
so there's awe, or like the sense of like a caterpillar spins some stuff around itself and comes out what used to look like a worm now can fly all the way to Mexico from Canada. That's crazy. Or an albatross with a wingspan of 6 feet can fly for years and go days without eating or drinking and sleep while it's flying and navigate all around the world with nothing but the sun, moon, and stars and go to the right island and lay
Mhm.
the same eggs. Or a salmon who can like wait for the high tide to go up the stream where that little salmon was born as a tiny little fish that big with a brain that was that big. Somehow that is all happened. That's a sense of awe. That's so cool, right?
Yeah.
I think that another really important sense of connection between science and religion is a sense of ethics, right? So, like in science, you try really hard to be an honest broker of policy alternatives. So, you're like, okay, well, here's what's happening. CO2 does this and temperature does this. And like, I don't want to tell you what you're supposed to do, but like, that's something you might want to think about. And so, like, the scientists have for so long, like, tried to just like tell policymakers what's happening, and then they can evaluate those things and decide what they might or might not want to do, right?
Mhm.
But now, when the ethical consequences of what scientists are learning are so grave, there's an important question like, should scientists at any point like take a stand and say what they think that we ought to do based on what they're learning? And so that's a huge important connect overlap between science and religion, sense of ethics. Like, what ought we to do given what we know? And of course, we're not always going to agree on that. But like one of the basic foundations of most people's sense of ethics is the golden rule, like do unto others what you would have them do unto you. Almost all the religions have some version of that. I've also heard the platinum rule, like do unto others what you think they would like you to do unto them, which is the base point. Like, I would like you to not poison me, make it impossible for me to grow crops, steal my land, and make it impossible for me to like get water. Like those are
Yeah.
things that I would like you to not do to me.
Yeah.
So therefore, I might want to not do those to you, like the global south or people in low-income communities or whatever. So ethics and awe
Yeah.
are sense. And then I guess the last thing I'd say is that because I think we're storytelling creatures, we're meaning-making creatures, we want to make sense of the world through like how we think and feel head and heart together. I think people of faith, religion writ large, have this incredible opportunity to like make a different world because of the stories we're telling, the stories we want to be part of. And like, all those times when we're so down and we're so like out of ideas, like we have stories of faith where a lot of people in our background felt that way too. Like I have a feeling 40 years in the desert, the Israelites like, this sucks. Like, I don't know if I want to keep following this Moses guy. And they didn't give up and they kept on going. Or like all the ways that like the prophets and the storytellers and all the way through, like they spoke truth to power because they couldn't not.
Yeah.
I think we gotta do that too. We gotta go to the
Yeah.
palace and pray.